Hello, today is my birthday, and in this video, I'll talk to you about food stamps and the military. 20 years ago, a soldier told me, "The government will take care of you, Daniel." But he was referring to if I had a job in the government. Uh, Now, I spoke to this same soldier, and he said, and I've heard about him already. It says that he's working without pay. The government is shutting down. That's what my neighbor tells me. So I just go, interesting. The second thing I have here is I wrote a note to myself. The spouse says, "We have no more food stamps." And I say, "Now your government has abandoned you. But God won't abandon you." That's what I say. And then I think to myself, I don't tell her this, "Now you will be more respectful to me in these next 7 years." You know, this is interesting because this spouse for 7 years that we moved up here has been disrespectful. And I see changes coming. I am hopeful that she will be more respectful in the next 7 years. I mean, some things we could say are childish, like she would not speak to me in English. She would not stop watching novellas. I could go on with what some of my viewers would say. These are childish topics. But my intention was, if you're in this country, even if you're an immigrant, well, if you were born here, you probably speak English, but you came here, you must learn English so that at least you can talk to the doctors about your children, your children's doctors, and etc. Because I have relatives, of course, that have been here. How old am I? More than 30 years. And these relatives, one of them would qualify to go to an English class because she's still learning English. But again, some people just don't change their habits. If you're watching only Spanish television, you could be in China, Japan, Russia, and you will still, if you're Spanish, a Spanish immigrant, Hispanic as the word is described here in the United States, you would still not learn any English, Japanese, French, whatever language. All right, so the government is shutting down. The first thing that I didn't laugh because this spouse again, she Baker acted me because I tend to laugh at certain things that would scare other people. And of course, I've been scared. When you hear that you're going to be Baker acted and you're going to be put away in some room for 24 hours, well, you're not scared at all. I wasn't. But when those 24 hours came and then they passed me by, I went to talk to one of the guards there and he said,
at that time it was Christmas. He said, "Oh, you haven't even seen the doctor yet, and it's Christmas," meaning that I was going to be there a while. So I didn't give up hope that I would come back to my family. For some reason, I was allowed to leave that place. It's sort of like almost like fishing, where you decide to keep the fish in jail or you decide to throw them back into the ocean. So I was thrown back to this family, and I'm grateful for that, because all I do while I'm here is make videos and read books with my son. And for some reason, for the last month, my daughter's been reading with me. Now, she puts strings on everything because she doesn't want to read the books I read. She wants me to read the books she's reading. Like one, I read 5 pages yesterday about an adult. Well, the book was a fiction book about 4 kids that win the chance to go make their own candy at a candy factory. I mean, that's not the type of book I want to read. I want to read something like Gandhi or Nelson Mandela or Edison, Tesla. I want them to read something about people that have achieved something. Even about reading about Hitler. Not that, well, yes, he achieved something, but not, I'm more on the sense about Hitler, more about how being too obedient is wrong. Because apparently the German people back then just, because of the propaganda, they just were brainwashed. I remember a movie I saw when I was a kid, and the only thing I remember about that was my mother said, "No, you go to bed, don't watch this." But he let my other relatives watch it, and it was about Hitler Youth, and the children were the spies of the government, the Hitler government, and they were accusing their own parents. Of saying things that went against the Hitler government. So I do want them to read about the Hitler Youth. I just read that book this week or last week, and about brainwashing or controlling the masses, controlling people. For instance, if this was my house, which I know my name is on the mortgage, but it isn't my house. If it was mine, I wouldn't have a TV. Well, the reason I wouldn't have it is because I use the laptop, and I would have internet. There's just no purpose for a TV, in my opinion. I would have those things that, like PowerPoint, so you can make a presentation to the family, and you would say, let's talk about this topic, and that would be like a whiteboard, or it would be a blackboard, like from just putting on the wall there, and I would, whatever I have here on the computer screen, I could put it right there. Projector, that's what it is, a projector on the wall. But I wouldn't have a TV. The reason I want to get rid of the TV and the sofa bed and a bunch of other furniture is so I can have space for my weights, get rid of that fan. It's in the way of the pull-up bar that I want to put up there. So this is not my home. I am temporarily here, God willing. Whether we get evicted or whatever happens, so far what happened was we didn't make many payments, but they switched so many banks during that time that it actually worked out in our favor, from what I'm understanding. and they're letting us just stay here and pay another $600 a month. So that seems fair. Versus being evicted. that is I see it as nice. I read recently a Bible proverb that said the poor give their money to the rich. And so I want to stop that. I mean, the rich come out with nice things, the iPhone, the laptop. I mean, I'm all for this. Air conditioning, electricity. I'm all for these beautiful things that exist in the world. I'm all for a car instead of walking all the way to the places I go to. However, I'm against giving all my money to the rich. As far as, like, if we look at just this spouse, her income might be $8 an hour. I think it's 10, but I'm not sure. 10 times, it's not, yeah, it is 8 hours a day that she's working this time. Well, 10 times, well, whatever the amount is, let's say it's 1,000 something a month. If 300 is just for the car, that would be too much money. That would be, is it 300%? I don't know. 30%, some percentage. 10% of 1,000 is 100. So it would be 3 times. It would be 30% of her income just for the car. But she rejects my ideas. Like, I have a neighbor that has two cars, and he was unemployed for a while, so the idea popped into my head. Rent a car from the neighbor instead of, $300 a month. Come on, $150, and we're halfway there. But which neighbor wants to rent a car? Usually they don't, because if you crash it, then that's that. But when you're unemployed, you say, well, you got 2 cars, rent that car. I would do it. I would find out if it's legal, though, for me to rent from my neighbor. All right, so I have many wonderful expectations today that it's my birthday. I expect this family, which some miracles have been happening. Number one, I'm still here. I'm not incarcerated. And that's because I haven't bothered this spouse one day since I got out of the hospital jail, the Baker Act hospital jail place. I haven't bothered the grandma either. Like, I used to go lie down on her bed, and then she said, get off, get out, get out of here. Whoa, 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 whoa. I was just being like monkeys do it. They cuddle, but they don't want me to do that during the novela hour. They don't want me to sleep in the same room they sleep in because I snore. They don't want grandma to sleep there either because she snores too. All right. But now she does this other thing. Grandma puts the headset on, but we can all hear what she's listening to. Oh boy. It's just different. And now I realize that my family is beautiful. My family is my enemy. My enemies are related to me. How about that one, huh? My enemies are related to me. Because I read a book and about relationships by Barbara DeAngelis. I have several of her books. This one's How to Make Love All the Time by Barbara DeAngelis. And in it said that, are you compatible with your boyfriend, girlfriend, lover, etc.? Because They love going to restaurants, and that's in the book. And I cannot go to restaurants. I just don't like them. How do I know they wash their hands? I don't know that. There are 1,000 things I don't like about restaurants. Someone could come in and shoot me. I just don't like being a sitting duck. I like drive-through. I like fast food. Not even going in. Just drive through and keep going. But these relatives of mine, this family, they love sitting down in a restaurant. And so they took me to one today, of course, for my birthday. But I didn't order anything. I just don't want to be there. But I kept quiet. I didn't bother them. All right? I didn't bother them, and that's why I'm not Baker acted at this moment on my birthday, because I didn't bother them. I didn't say anything. I just, you want to eat something? No, thank you. And I stay serious. And I see them playing around with each other, going, woo! They're having fun, and I'm like, what gives them pleasure does not give me pleasure at all. The spouse has been nice to me, in the bedroom at least. Life is different. I still don't take out the garbage by myself. This week was the first time in several months that I had to take out the trash, but I only took out one item when we have like 2 recycling baskets and a tall garbage can with wheels. And my son and I picked up the recycling basket. That's it. We were done with it. I don't like helping because I hate being mistreated, even at work. If we're all going to do something, then I will contribute. But if it's just, oh, you are Daniel, you're the peon, you're the pisson, you go take out the garbage, then in that case I just retreat. And the spouse today, she made the daughter sweep the floor. My son had to put away his socks. We don't need to use the sofa bed, but we use it because sometimes there's so much laundry on top of their beds that it's just easier for my son to pull out the sofa bed. Well, he doesn't pull it out, he puts it back in, but I take it out for him. Oh well, life is a mystery. But when I saw, especially the spouse, when I saw her smiling at the restaurant, I was thinking, you were the one, you're smiling now, and yet you were the one that threw me in the hospital jail. And yet I am the same person, same kind person. And I haven't done anything illegal, guys. Kicking your own door in a bedroom because the kids are slamming the door, I didn't hit the kids. I'm not going to hit the kids. I tell the kids that in Honduras they would get a belt on their rear end or something. But there's no way I would do it in the United States. If you leave a mark on the belt, then they throw you in jail. Child abuse. And then it would be even harder to get the kids back, I have many videos here, and these are public videos, but I have a bunch of, like twice as many private videos where I make my kids read, and this is like since they were little. So that's the kind of dad I've been. I've been a high activity dad. No one is perfect, yet I would say my score would be an A average. Now, the only time I goofed up with like I get an F. But even the 2 times I got Baker corrected, one was a lie, because the only thing I was doing was homeschooling my son, and with the spouse's permission. But then my mother, started saying, DCF is going to find out, and they're going to throw you in jail, and because you are letting a crazy man teach the Constitution, the Declaration of Independence, teaching about Gandhi, teaching about Arnold Schwarzenegger, and following your dream and following your goals, teaching about Bruce Lee, Jet Li, Chuck Norris. I mean, not just watching movies, but we were actually discussing books here. And just recently, Booker T. Washington. I've written several books. How about this? I've written several ebooks, but I haven't gotten the kids to read them yet, because we got to finish the books that we have started. Like I have a little Gold and Honey Bible that I'm reading with him, and those I don't make them public because, well, I talk a lot of stuff on these videos, and even though my subscribers, many of them are secret subscribers, I don't know who they are. I suspect that many of these videos, oh, your dad's the one that masturbated 6 times a day when he was in high school, or was it elementary school? I don't remember when I started. Oh, so like, to protect my kids from that type of bullying or torture, I just don't show my kids' faces, and I don't mention them here. Otherwise, I would have them right. Like my son, he's like right here next to me. We're like shadows. But I don't do that. Sort of to protect them a little bit. But I told him, if I die, just make the videos public once I'm dead, or once he's big enough, like 18 years old or something. All right. I'm enjoying my freedom on my day, the day that I was born 41 years ago. I got my dog. I still have a mother. And this spouse is still here. Trying to make the relationship better, but she still goes against what I suggest. Yet, little by little, inch by inch, even my son says, mother changes, his mother, right, my spouse, changes, but it takes 7 years for her to change. And yet, she has told me several things. Like, I should have listened to you 5 years ago, 4 years ago. I should have listened to you, Daniel. I got something flying over here. Well, now the biggest problem we have is cockroaches. Somebody's got to start doing the dishes at night. Saw a huge one yesterday, and man, that thing ran fast, all the way behind the fridge. I would do the dishes by myself if I had a respectful family. And little by little, they are respecting me a little bit more. They know they need me. Even though I pulled away from my daughter for about, I call her my prodigal daughter. Like, she just didn't want to, I don't want to talk to you, I don't want to say anything. I don't even want to say good morning. So like, okay, well, we don't talk. I would say good morning to her, but she would respond, but that was it. It was like 2 words every day for the last 3 years, maybe longer. Actually, since she was 5 years old, I think I stopped talking to her. Once she started the school, she didn't want to hang out with me at all, not go to the park and things like that. So I put up with her. But now she has seen a couple of things that are, for some reason, I'm happy. I'm happy that she's practicing Tai Chi Chuan with me and sparring and martial arts and things like that. I don't know what to do about her long hair though, because I just go around and grab her hair and pull her down. I don't pull her down, I let go. Once I grab her hair, she knows that she cannot continue. It's such a weakness to have long hair. And I just don't understand. What can she do about it? Because what she saw at school was this girl said something bad about this boy's mother. So the boy just grabbed her by the hair and threw her on the floor. And that girl got up and punched him in the stomach, but perhaps somebody else stepped in and stopped the fight. Or that's all that my daughter saw. But my point is, everyone in the world needs to know how to defend themselves. And the first defense is not to offend anybody. We need to teach that one. And Booker T. Washington says, good advice is to not go looking for trouble. Don't go looking for trouble. But better advice is to be prepared. Be prepared. And that's what I wanted to teach my children. And my daughter, I'm so happy she has returned to me. As far as she's reading the books I wanted to read, even if it's only a little bit, like Joel Osteen's emails. I subscribed, right? And it said, fix your mind on good things. Whatever is good, there's some Bible verse. Whatever is good and noble, whatever is wholesome, think about those things. And if you do that, well then the trade-off, that's a business word. The trade-off is, if you're doing this, then you're not doing, how am I going to pay the phone bill? How am I going to pay the water bill, the light bill, and all that stuff? Because there's no way you can pay those bills. I can't pay them. If I get an $8 an hour job, I couldn't pay them. And so now it takes two incomes, and that's if you're lucky to have a full-time job. The neighbor mentions how he's at 25 hours a week. That's not enough. The other one was unemployed for a little bit. Now he's working again, so like, oh well. Oh well, this family's getting better, little by little. I'm actually going to tell the kids, protect me from grandma and from the spouse. And I do tell them, I tell my son, if you just put away the socks, then, son, if you just put away the socks, then your mother will not get angry at me and throw me in the hospital jail for protecting you, you know. And I tell them, the first defense is for you not to offend your mother. Actually, even as kids, I invented ways to put away the socks. One of my brothers and I, we used to like make our socks, and then we'd open up a drawer, and we'd sit back here in the bed, and we'd just try to put all the socks, and then we had to match, like, okay, the white socks are yours, and the black socks are mine, and then whoever has more of them in the bucket would win. I mean, we made it into a game. I would do that with my son, but this spouse, she's still very territorial. She says, I don't want your socks, underwear, and t-shirts in the living room. But I tell her, Give me your closet and I'll live in there. But she won't do that. All right, be better than I am. Take care. Talk to you later.